Let's explain the dreaded java.io.FileNotFoundException, open failed EACCES, permission denied error on Android. This frustrating error pops up when your Android app tries to access a file but doesn't have the necessary permissions. It's essentially saying, hey, you can't touch that. Let's break down why this happens and how to fix it. 1. Understanding file permissions. Android operates with a strict permission system for security reasons. Your app doesn't automatically have access to all files on the device. Trying to read or write to files in protected directories, like internal storage or other apps' data, without the correct permissions will trigger this error. 2. Common causes. A. Missing permissions in manifest. The most frequent culprit is failing to declare the necessary permissions in your app's Android manifest.xml file. You need to explicitly state that your app requires access to storage. B. Incorrect file. Paths. You might be specifying the wrong file path. Double-check your path and ensure it points to the correct location where your app has permission to access. C. External storage access. If your app needs to access files on external storage, like an SD card, you'll need additional permissions and you need to handle the possibility that external storage might not be available. D. Scoped storage. Android's newer scoped storage model further restricts direct file access. You should generally use the storage access framework to let users choose files. 3. Troubleshooting steps. A. Check. Manifest. Open your Android manifest.xml file and verify that you've included the appropriate uses permission tags for the storage permissions your app needs. For example, uses permission Android, name sucks Android, permission, read external storage, and uses permission Android.name sucks Android, permission, write external storage. Note that these permissions might be handled differently depending on the Android version. B. Verify file path. Print the file path your app is trying to access to the logcat using log.t. This helps identify any typos or incorrect directory specifications. C. Use scope storage. If targeting Android 10, API level 29, or higher, adapt to scope storage using the storage access framework. This involves presenting a file picker to the user instead of directly accessing files. D. Check app's runtime permissions. Modern Android versions require runtime permission checks. You need to ask the user for permission at runtime using the activity compat.request permissions method. Handle the result to see if the user granted the permission. E. Emulator versus physical device. The problem might only appear on a physical device due to differing file system permissions. F. Device-specific issues. Problems can occur due to unusual device configurations or custom ROMs. 4. Example code snippet. Illustrative, adapt to your specific needs. This example demonstrates requesting runtime permission for Android 6.0 and above. It's crucial to handle the case where the user denies permission gracefully. Remember to replace android.permission.read_external_storage with the permission you require. If you're accessing internal files, you might not need runtime permissions, but ensure the file is accessible to your app. 5. Conclusion. The java.io.FileNotFoundException, open failed EACCES, permission denied, error is commonly solved by carefully checking your permissions in the manifest and at runtime, ensuring the file path is correct, and adapting to Android's scope storage model if necessary. Remember to handle permission requests and potential failures gracefully to create a robust and user-friendly app.